It's your girl Miranda, and I'm back with another video. So I couldn't really decide if I wanted to do the video over, telling the story about my foster care journey, me being a foster care or whatever, or if I wanted to go ahead and tell you my pregnancy journey. So since I'm pressed for time already, because I gotta get my son from school, I decided to just do my pregnancy story because there was a lot in that. So, y'all may see me look down a couple of times, but it's because I'm doing something, I'm writing and other things. Anyway, so my journey begins on March 9th of 2014. I was with this guy, been with this guy for a little bit. And, yeah, y'all know how babies are made. Moving forward. So, I'm just gonna say my intuition or, my inner self, whatever you want to call it, kind of told me, something's not right about your body and you need to, I need to go get a pregnancy test. So I did. Went to Walgreens. At the time, y'all, I was 17 years old, a junior in high school. Just started my first job. Yeah, it was a lot. Moving forward. So, I went to Walgreens basically, and I got me a home pregnancy test when I took it. Found out March 9th that I was pregnant. Okay, so I'm just, chilling, hoping that it's, just a false, that it just didn't work. Okay, moving forward, so then that following weekend, I think it was, I went to a clinic and they confirmed my pregnancy and said that I was 3 weeks pregnant, which was a complete shock to me because here I am sitting here at 17 years old, in high school, not even a senior yet, let me remind you, but nervous and scared of what's going to happen when everybody find out that I'm pregnant. The father of my child over there just happy, just happy. And I'm just like, hold on, y'all. But I'm just like, what you so happy for? Like, I'm in school. I haven't even finished school yet. You're over there happy for what? You know what I'm saying? I was mad. Moving on. I took it for what it was because I'm like, you can't change it. I'm like, you can't change it. The deed is done. You know what I'm saying? So I just moved on and I tried to figure out how I was going to tell my aunt, because at the time I was living with my aunt. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell her. And I'm talking to my friend at the time, and I'm like, how am I going to tell her that, I'm pregnant? How am I going to do that? I actually told my aunt first before I told anybody. And then I told my stepmom. And then I told my mom. Big mistake. The biggest mistake I made during that was to tell my mom that I was pregnant, because she did something that I thought she wasn't going to do. As a parent, I would have thought, I know this sounds crazy because, yeah, she's my mom, but she didn't raise me. That's another story coming. Anyway, she didn't raise me. So me and my mama has like a friendship type of relationship. We don't have a mother-daughter relationship. We never have. So moving forward, I expected my mom to keep it a secret until I was ready to tell my aunt, the guardian, my biological, not biological, but my guardian. You know what I'm saying? My mom didn't let me do that. My mom didn't let me deliver the message to my aunt. She delivered it. Legit. I went to school. I came home. I'm walking down the street from the bus stop to the house, and me and my friend are like, is that your mom? I'm like, I think it is. And she was like, yo, if your mom told Annie that, that you're pregnant, like, that's messed up. I said, my mama wouldn't do that to me. I asked her to keep it to herself until I was ready. Like, she wouldn't do that. My mom come out the door, she's smiling from ear to ear. She was like, hey, daughter, basically say hi, how's school, whatever. My aunt goes in the house, and she was like, I said, what did y'all talk about? And she was like, oh, we were just talking about something else. She said, don't worry, I didn't tell her that you were pregnant. She was like, don't worry about it. Instantly, I'm looking at her like I wasn't thinking about, in my mind I wanted to say like I wasn't thinking about it, but we all know I was. But moving forward, so I go in the house. My auntie, when I'm walking through the door, my auntie's staring at me, sizing me up, looking at me up and down, you feel me? So instantly I'm nervous. So I'm just like, okay. And, I go to my room. I took my uniform off because we wore uniforms at school we was going to. Took my uniform off, put some regular clothes on, whatever. Was settling down for the day, trying to figure out what we want to do. And she came in there, she was like, hey, I'm about to go get so-and-so from work. Do y'all want to go? And we were both like, no, we don't want to go. Now we're going to stay here. And she just kept staring at me the whole time. So I'm like, she knows something. So she was like, okay, well, I'll be back. So she left, and I'm sitting there talking to my best friend like, girl, I think she know. She was like, yeah, I think she do too. She said, your mama told her she had to. And I'm like, why would my mama do that, So I want to say about maybe 5 minutes after her leaving, she called my phone. And I didn't answer the first time. I was scared because I'm like, why is she calling me? And then she called me again, and I answered. And she started a conversation off with something random. I can't even remember what it was. But then she was like, so your mom came over and said something about your aunt told her that you were pregnant. So there was a whole lie in that. My aunt never told my mom I was pregnant. I told my mom I was pregnant. So, but anyway, moving on. I said, what? I was going to try to play it off at first, but then I thought, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to play this off for too long. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I said, my aunt did not tell my mom I was pregnant. I told my mom I was pregnant. And she was like, well, are you? And I said, yeah, I am. And she was like, oh my God. She was like, I'm so disappointed in you because you should have told me. In reality, I know she wanted to cuss me out and call me all types of out my name and tell me how I messed up and all this other stuff. But she didn't. She just was like, you know what? She was like, I'm disappointed in you because you should have told me. She asked me how long I've been knowing. At that time, I think I had been knowing for a little bit, like a good month or month and a half at least. I knew, and yeah. So from then on, she it was a topic of discussion for a while. She never came in and cussed me out, or nothing like that. But she was upset, and I could tell that it hurt her feelings that I got pregnant. She would always tell us, if y'all are out there doing stuff, keep it out of my house. You know what I'm saying? And I messed up. And I brought it in her house because I got pregnant. So, yeah. So moving forward. So, after that, I don't know. She just kind of, like I said, it was a topic of discussion for a while, but she didn't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody found out I was pregnant, and yeah, She was mad because it would show up sometimes that she was upset with me. It would show up because she would say smart remarks sometimes, or she would have an attitude. Like there's been a few times. There was a few times where she had to take me to my doctor's appointment. She was going off in the car, like full fledged going off. Oh, it's your fault you got pregnant. You should know where this doctor's office is. If you can lay down and get pregnant, then you should be able to pull up an address for the doctor's office, and all this other stuff like went straight off on me. She never set an appointment with me. She never asked me what happened in my appointment, none of that. She never did none of that. So that was another reason why how I knew she was bothered. She was really upset about it. Um, so I came up with an idea to move to Louisiana with my two aunts that lived there. And she was all for it quickly. And I knew that was another sign showing me, she's pissed. She really wants you just to hurry to get up out her house. She took you in when she didn't have to, and all this other stuff. Anyway, long story short, I was supposed to go to Louisiana that May, but I didn't go. Wait, no, I was supposed to go. Supposed to go in April because school was ending in May, so I was supposed to go in April, um, but I didn't. I ended up no. I'm sorry, y'all. My memory bad. So honestly, no, I was supposed to leave a couple days after school was out. That's exactly what I was supposed to do. So basically the ending of May, I was supposed to leave and go to Louisiana. Um, I went the ending of May. It just didn't go how I thought it was gonna go. But I got there. I was in Louisiana all through June, up until the middle of July, I want to say, maybe towards the ending of July. And um, yeah, I believe it was all of June and the ending of July I left. But I basically left Louisiana because some family issues and jealousy and more crap. But that's another story too. They'll probably qualify for a short because it's really not that long of a story, honestly. Well, I guess I could just tell y'all. Basically, one of my aunts got jealous of my other aunt because I was spending time with the other aunt instead of spending time with her. Man, it was a total of bull crap. So I ended up coming back to Oklahoma. I ended up having to stay with my mom when I did come back because I absolutely had nowhere to go. So my mom and her wife let me stay with them, and so that's where I was up until I had my son. Um, During that time, it was hard. I did have a boyfriend at that time. No, it was not the child's father. But I did have a boyfriend at that time, and I honestly wish that my pregnancy would have kind of went differently. I wish I had a lot more support than I did have because I didn't really have that much support. I really didn't have any support, to be honest. Yeah. Um, I took care of myself. I got myself to my doctor's appointments. My aunt, one of my great aunts, she helped me a lot during my pregnancy. She took me to my doctor's appointments. When I didn't have food, she fed me. Like there was a lot that was going on around that time, and I was struggling really, really hard. Um, I had turned 18 in June, so I had turned 18 when I was in Louisiana. Anyway, moving on. So I had my son November 3rd.